Hey guys, it's Justin back again here at Real Talk with Keystone Mission. So we're blessed today that we actually, or tonight, I'm sorry, tonight.
Late.
No, it'll be tomorrow. It'll be a long day tomorrow. We have County Council members Matt Vough and Kendra Raddle who are actually here to talk about homelessness. So thank you for coming on.
Of course.
So you guys, I'm going to address this to Matt first. So you're in charge of this organization that Luzerne County started about a year ago.
Yes, it's called Luzerne County Cares Commission. Consists of 3 members of County Council and 6 members of the public. And Justin's fortunate for us. Justin's a member of that commission as well. And really the important part of that is to connect those struggling with the local resources that we have out there. And we try to address those dealing with substance use disorders and homelessness. We've done stuff like food and clothing drives coordinated with Keystone Mission to just give back and find ways where we can bridge some of the gaps that are currently out there.
So, Kendra, you sit on this also.
Yes.
So, so one of the big things about people that have come here and people that are talking to us that were homeless, they're saying that the issue at hand is that they said that if we want to end homelessness, we need to bring the community together. And the community needs to work together. So how do you envision the county, first of all, representing the leadership or the legislative branch of the county, how do you think that we could get a lot of these agencies that do great work all throughout this area to come together to start solving this problem with homelessness? Because there was a gentleman we talked to, Charles, recently, actually just a couple minutes ago, and he was stating that he knows what he needs to do to get better, he just can't find it out there. And so I'm not asking again for, and I'm a very big proponent of this, and I've been very vocal about it. Government doesn't need to solve the issue, right? But government needs to help dictate and help move that ball rolling, get that ball rolling. So how do you envision that? I know I put you on the spot. I know it's hard to do, but given the privilege of being on the county council, you have that almost canvas that you can paint any way you want. So how do you think that could be done? And if Matt, you want to pick up first, you can. That's great.
Yeah, I will say that, like you said, connecting the resources out there to those struggling. And I think we tried that with our resource day in Kirby Park. We had over 30 agencies there. And like we mentioned before, the food and clothing drive as well, to bring them there, to get them the food and clothing they need, and then connect them to the resources out there. And then a bigger part of that was connecting the resources as well, like talking amongst themselves to see where the gaps may be. And especially with us on council, we try to bring different things to the table. And I know one thing we're working on is the Homeless Bill of Rights. So that's just something where we try to give homeless people the same rights that every other person in this community has. So from our perspective on the legislative side, we're just trying to, like we mentioned before, bridge the gaps between homeless and non-homeless.
And I think another thing too is with the resource day that the County Cares Commission had, it was in the middle of Kirby Park on a weekend during a busy time. It wasn't just directed towards homeless or those struggling with substance use. It was anybody could stop by, see what's here, and I think people who aren't homeless and more privileged saw that this is what we have to offer. These are the people that are here. They're normal people just like us, and I think that when you combine more privileged people with people who might be hard on their luck right now, and combine that together, then you're raising awareness, you're getting rid of a stigma, and I feel like that's really beneficial as well.
And that's a good point. Charles, who was homeless, not Charles, I'm sorry, Billy, who was homeless, that was talking here, he said that exact same thing. He said, listen, he's like, I'm not an alcoholic, right? I was never an alcoholic. I was sober for 20 years, but still homeless. I don't have a mental health issue except for depression because I'm living in a situation like that. I have a family, and I'm homeless because of a situation, right? It doesn't define me that I'm homeless, but unfortunately it's starting to define people, that they're afraid, that they don't want to be out there in the public because they think that they're going to be shunned upon, or nobody wants to help them in all that direction. One of the things that I sit on, and I'm throwing this out at you because, again, I like to challenge the status quo, and that's what I love doing. I sit on a national summit for homelessness, and it's worthless. because all they do is they spin the wheel, and I'm probably going to be now kicked off of it, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But it spins the wheels, right? And I think that we're really good, right, at saying, hey guys, guess what? We just got $32 million from a grant that the federal government gave to the state, and the state then gave it to the local, and we're just going to throw money to a situation and let it roll the way it is, right? Instead of really solving the problem. And I would challenge the county, and I'd be willing, because again, if I challenge the county, I have to put my mouth where it talks. I'm willing to help you guys with this, but I would love to start 2 summits, right? I would love to start a Luzerne County, or actually I would love to start a Northeast PA summit, where we bring elected officials. I'm thinking county commissioners from Lackawanna, county council from Luzerne, mayors. Bring them together in a group, right? And let's sit down and talk about homelessness, okay? Let you guys spin the wheels, because you guys are gatekeepers to funding, that type of operation. And then have another summit of business leaders to sit together. Because if you think about it, the business sector solves problems, right? If I can't get this microphone to work, some business guy is going to come up with a widget that's going to make it cheaper and more efficient, because that's what they do. Why can't business owners come up with an idea to solve homelessness, which they can? Hey, if we build this sky dome, whatever it is. So why don't we start a summit, right? And I would love, as Keystone Mission, to host it and bring together the forum to talk about it and say, how can we solve this as a community? Right? Because this isn't a Republican or Democrat or independent issue. This isn't a Lackawanna, Luzerne County issue. This is an issue. So that is my challenge, and I'd be more than happy to start up and get it going and moving forward and inviting people in and seeing who takes up. But I think the first step is what you guys did here today, is coming here and talking about it and not being afraid to talk about it. Because Luzerne County does make mistakes when it comes to homelessness. Lackawanna does do mistakes when it comes to homelessness. The Pennsylvania does do problems when it comes to homelessness, and this nation has problems when it comes to homelessness, because if you look in the past 3 years, we have risen a 3% increase in homelessness. I have seen a 32% increase here in northeastern PA in homelessness, and this is just the tip of the iceberg before we actually get it even worse. So that's my challenge to you guys. I'm not asking you to accept it today.
I think it's a great idea.
We accept it.
Sleep on it, figure it out for a while.
We got a meeting next Wednesday at County Cares. We'll be on the agenda.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm so excited.
Guest speaker Justin Barron's
Yes.
talking about the summit.
Okay. Let me get through this first. So let me ask you: have you ever approached or seen people with homelessness and talked to them?
Yes, a couple times. For the most part, it seems like mental health is a big part of it as well. And I mean, as city level, county level, U.S. national level, there is a mental health problem that needs to be addressed. I don't know if that's the root cause of homelessness, but you would know more. I think that's definitely a huge factor, and
it's the number one.
That needs to be addressed at a national level. There's not enough money spent on mental health anywhere, and I believe if we address that issue, we can help eliminate some of the homelessness.
And we're ending up becoming like the mental hospital, right?
Yeah.
The shelters and all the places. We are the ones that are harboring and keeping them safe and trying to get through that navigation. Kendra, here's something, and I know that you've talked about this before. We also see another big issue that's out here. We've got that COVID crisis that's out there, and everyone talks about that pandemic. Everyone talks about the pandemic of homelessness. But going hand in hand with that, we have an opioid epidemic.
Yes.
And that's even probably worse than probably all of them combined. And so I know that both of you have been working on trying to help with that. But that's another issue that we need to address. I don't know if you want to touch that, because I see that here with the homeless population. Just last year, we actually had to bury someone that was homeless, which is a shame because they have no family, so they're buried in a cardboard box. That's the reality of what happens. And we had their service here at the church on the square, and all it was people of services and people of the community and the homeless people of the community coming for this individual, which is good because it shows that there was a family network there. But to be buried in a cardboard box just blows my mind and breaks my heart continuously. But opioid epidemic, do you want to touch base on that a little bit?
Well, I think that's another thing that we address with the resource day. I think ending the stigma around it and wanting to help these people and not looking down upon them and wanting to help them. I think that's where you have to start, and I think Matt started that, and I kind of tried to tag along when he was starting with the forums that he had when I was running for county council. And I think that's all a big part in just displaying what resources are available, connecting those resources to each other. So if I can't help you, I know about 5 other resources that can, and just like continuously talking about it. And I think what Keystone Mission does with getting the church involved is like the greatest thing that you can do, because you said about how, the homeless person you were talking to says he wants to feel like a sense of community, and I feel like what better place to find that than with a church. So I feel like that's huge too. So I don't know if Matt wants to add anything.
Yeah, if you want to.
I thought you did great.
So that's exactly that's the whole basis of Keystone Mission. Like our secret ingredient, like that we sprinkle on the top, is actually the relationships that we build with the church community. The church community comes out and we act as the brothers and sisters of these individuals and say, we're going to move you in that direction. We're going to help you get in that better place. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to add on. I mean, I appreciate you guys coming down here. I thought I only had 11 hours left, but I forgot that there's 24 hours in a day.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So
That'll
yeah.
happen.
So I'm actually I don't even know what I'm on anymore. But we're
like 7 hours in.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
Out of the 24.
Yeah,
but the whole idea is we're bringing attention to the homelessness. Right?
Yeah, what you're doing is phenomenal.
We want to
Thank you
have
for
a
doing
face to it. I mean, we've had every news agency here on the radio, on the television, and we're not here to poke the bear, but I'm here to slap the bear, right? I mean, we need to make sure that people understand that the homelessness is not a scary thing. I mean, I had more interviews with the homeless sitting here on this bench than I've had with anybody. And it's amazing to hear their stories, their testimonies. And I do appreciate you guys coming down here. I know you guys are busy people. And I wish you guys the best of luck. And again, I always pray for everyone. I put them in my prayers list. Matt, I've been praying for you.
Thank you.
Regularly, especially for, what's going on with your life. And
Thank you.
And it seems like God's doing great things for you. So I'm glad of that. And Kendra, I always pray for you because you can't forget Kendra.
Never.
So
Who can forget Ken?
I do appreciate it. And I wish you guys the best.
You too, Justin.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.